goodbye. She got on the plane, never to return again, but always in my heart. But oh, this love has taken its toll on me, and she said goodbye too many times before, and her heart is breaking in front of me, and I had no choice, 'cause I won't say goodbye anymore. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mulai jam berapa? Assalamualaikum semuanya. Jam berapa mulainya? Jam 8.
Iya Bu, mulainya jam 8.
Halo, selamat pagi semua.
Pagi.
Sebelum kita memulai acara pada hari ini, diharapkan kepada para peserta yang bisa on cam, diharapkan untuk on cam. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings everyone. Hello, my name is Alfa Rabi, accompanied by my partner, Bintang Zanum. Together, we will be the MC throughout today. First of all, let us thank the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has shown His blessing and mercy, so we can gather here in a very well condition.
To the headmaster of SMANSA Bogor, Mr. Bambang Aryan Sukisno, to the coach of ISI SMANSA Bogor, Mrs. Pujiati, to all teachers, staff, committee of SMANSA and PRODIGY. And last but not least, for all participants who are present on this beautiful day, we would like to give you our warmest and merriest welcome to PRODIGY 2021.
Thank you for Bogor event, Olympiada update, info event, info Lomba Plus, and Delin Smithrick who have supported this event.
Before we begin today's event, let us give a brief explanation about PRODIGY. PRODIGY stands for Project of Developing Synergy, which is a yearly and biggest work program held by ISI SMANSA Bogor.
This year, we expand our target to all Java regions to spread the opportunities even more for the students who are seeking their change to improve their English skills.
This year, the theme we are bringing is Revamp the Passion, Spark the Enlivenment. Not forgetting the tagline, which is Reclaim the Rally with worthwhile ration, renewed the spirit of amelioration.
The theme goes in line with our hope that even in this dark time due to the pandemic, we can still search up for the light and bring the joyous energy in order to revive the strange and lifeless who have had, and even better than that. We believe that nothing can stop our youth spirit to rise back.
Before we continue, let us introduce the Chief of PRODIGY 2021, Ms. Kania Dia. You are welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings everyone. Good morning. My name is Kania Dirivanda and I am the Chief of PRODIGY 2021. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for all His blessing that He has given to us. And I would also like to thank our coach, Mrs. Puji. Thank you for being here. And I would also like to say a huge thank you to Easy Batch 22 and a huge thank you to the committee of PRODIGY 2021. And last but not least, thank you to all participants who are here right now. I just would like to say I wish this event would bring back your spirit, your motivation to do everything that we normally used to do despite our current situation, and don't let our situation become your problem or trouble, but make it as our challenge to become better. I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention, and have good luck and have a well of time. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Kania. On to the next one. Let's hear a few words from the chairlady of Easy Batch 22. Please welcome Ms. Nadia Erlangga.
Okay, hello, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's event. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, we can finally gather here in the very special and long-awaited occasion of PRODIGY 2021. I would like to thank every single one of people who have contributed to make this event happen, the committees, teachers, our coach, Ms. Puji, the staff, media partners, sponsor, and most definitely the participants of the event. So to get things quickly, I just want to say that I'm very grateful to see that all of you are supporting this event. And it is truly amazed me how you can cope with this current situation and you still want to be bold and rise back, and it means a lot to us as SEMA organization, and I just hope that you will get the experience alongside the good time. I hope you win the prize. I hope you are having a great moment here with us, and I wish you the best of luck. So thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Nadia. Last but not least, to the coach of Easy SMANSA Bogor, Mrs. Pujiati, you are welcome to have a few words and officially begin Prodigy 2021.
Okay, baik. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salawat and salam for our beloved Prophet Nabi Muhammad SAW. Okay, for of all, I'd like to thank to Allah for giving us a chance and opportunity to conduct Prodigy as usual, but it's all through online. It's okay. I think it's more challenging for us to have this moment. And then I would also like to thank the committee and also for the educator or the jury and also the all my beloved fellow teacher and also the headmaster for give us permission for all the for the student to take part for these activities. I hope these activities for Prodigy will give us for the participant, especially for having improvement in English and enrich the enrich experience using English as international language. I believe mastering English is very important for nowadays. Okay, and then I hope not only enrich the experience but also having the friendship between or among us as in the nation. So we believe that this program will encourage people to to improve English and also to have more friends through these opportunities. Okay, and then for committee, I really I'm very proud of you having these activities. So I believe all of you have also good advantage for conducting these activities also. Okay, by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, officially I open these Prodigy activities. I hope these activities will be blessed by Allah as our good deeds. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mrs. Puji, for the kind words.
Now that Prodigy has officially begun, let's get ready and fire up your competitive spirit. The PJs and LOs will now take over. My name is Bintang Zanuba, together with my partner Novel Rabani, as the MC, wishing you guys the best of luck and well of time. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Uh, untuk yang mengikuti lomba speech, bagi yang belum join untuk ke breakout room-nya silakan join ya. Bagi yang debat mohon ditunggu.
Yang ikut lomba debat bisa diam di main room dulu dan tunggu instruksi selanjutnya. Thank you.
Hello? Check. Can you guys hear my voice?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear it.
All right. Okay, great. So good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Yes,
So if you want to do the response, you can do it through the chat box, right? Yeah, because there might be some echoes. And I want still this to be very responsive and still exciting nonetheless, although it is conducted online. So yeah, please do the respond in the chat box. Don't be shy and don't hesitate. So first of all, I would like to thank you for everyone who joined these competitions. Rest assured that you are not going to regret these competitions, although it is conducted online. There might be some challenges, but it is still going to be a wonderful competitions. We have prepared you very interesting topics for you to have a debate on, and exercise your English as well as your critical thinking as a youth and as debaters. That you will be very thrilled with what you will be having. So on behalf of the organizing committee, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Badai, and I will be assisted by my co-chief of educator, Jamila. But Jamila has not yet come to this room, so I'm waiting for her to do the matchup. I will be acting as the chief of educator for these competitions. So you guys will be having the 4 rounds up to afternoon of this day. So for these 4 rounds, you guys will be having 2 eliminator rounds. Afterwards, you guys will be proceeded to the semi-final rounds for the top 4 teams who managed to get the best score, to get the best victory points out of the competing teams. So for you who still are fresh for the debate, for your information, you will be having 2 preliminary rounds. In this preliminary round, you guys will be scored based on your first victory points, meaning that if you win the debate, you will earn the victory point, and it will make you earn a score to get through the 4 best top team, managing to enter the semi-final rounds. So after victory points, the team will be ordered and sorted out based on the speaker score. So the order will be victory point, and then the speaker score, and then the margins. So for example, if you guys have the victory points, say team A and team B, you guys the same victory points of 2, both of you managed to win two of the preliminary debate. So what need to be assessed next is your score, your speaker score. So we will choose the team who have the higher speaker score after the victory point. So if the speaker score are still the same, we will order the team based on the margin. So that is the order. Is there any questions regarding how we will select the 4 top best team? If you have no question, would you mind responding through the chat box, please? Can I have confirmation? All right, that's awesome. So first of all, before I would provide you the detail regarding the rules, I would need to ensure everyone have their name correctly. As you can see in the technical guidance that the committee have previously sent to you guys and share with you, you need to name your Zoom account in this regard. So make sure the format is the school name _ your name. Has everyone named it correctly already? If not yet, please do so, because we are still having time. All right. So assuming everyone have their name correct, I would like to confirm with you first regarding how the motions will be picked for your debate topic. So we will be doing a motion preference. Is anyone quite familiar with this, or is there anyone who's still not aware of what motion preference is? So you can answer through the chat box. So if everyone already knows what motion preference is, I think I can skip that explanation. If there is someone who may need the explanation, please let me know. All right. So for those who are not familiar with the motion preference, basically we want to ensure that the competitions will go fair and square, right? Everyone have the same best opportunity to argue on the motions that they are comfortable with. So that's the idea. So therefore, in order to ensure the fairness of the motions that everyone is comfortable to debate on, we will do the motion preference. So basically the motion preference is the adjudicator will give you a topic of the motions, for instance, education. So that's the topic, right? That's the umbrella motions, the education. And then under the heading of the educations, we will be having 3 motions. For example, motion A, motion B, and motion C under the heading of the education. So in order for you guys to have the comfort of debating a certain topic, we will let you guys choose what motions you want to debate the most regarding your according to your position. For example, team opposition, yeah, under the heading of education, motion A, motion B, motion C, you do not want to debate motion C because motion C is very hard to argue. You have no idea about it. You are going to be very clueless if you want to debate that motion. So therefore, what you need to do, you need to, to set the preference of the motion. Motion C, you need to put it in the very last. So you need to put it in number 3. Yeah. So if you want to debate motion number A, you want to debate it so bad because you are so passionate about the issue, you really know what you are talking, you need to put motion A in your first priority. So on that matters, your preference will be number 1 is motion A, number 2 is motion B, and number 3 is motion C, right? And then we will try to match your motion preference with your opponent. And then the judges will help to select what motion best to debate for both teams. Is the explanation clear? If it is so, please do the response in the chat box. Yeah. So you guys, you just need to set the preference and the adjudicator in the room will help you to decide what motions will be debated. And then next, what I need to confirm is regarding the case building time. So the LO will help you guys to set the Google Meet link. So I am quite sure that everyone have been informed previously that a part of you are being assigned in the breakout room. Yeah, because the debate will be in the breakout room of this Zoom platform. Nonetheless, the team should have another platform to do the discussions, right? You cannot do the discussions in the breakout rooms because because the breakout room is for the debate, the case building will be done separately. Normally in the in-person debate, we will have the opposition team going outside the room and then the government team staying inside the room. So they can have a case building time for 30 minutes. But in this regards, we will be using another platform to do the case building. And I believe it has been informed to you, and the LO with their hospitality, they will help you set the link for you guys to do the discussions in terms of doing the case building in that platform. And please ensure that the LO is present during the discussions because we want to ensure the fairness of these competitions. I know, guys, I know you can be trusted, but still we need to ensure that everyone is being supervised, being treated in the same manner. So the LO should be present the moment you are doing the case building, right? Okay, so after the case building time is has elapsed, you guys need to come back to the breakout room. Yeah, just simply close the Google Meet link, for example, and then you turn on your camera in the breakout room. So the technicality of the debate, you guys have to turn on your video during your speech, and then you need to turn it off when you are done with your speech. Yeah, because it will be quite heavy to load your images, to load everyone images, just to ensure that there is no technical glitch happening. So the one who is allowed to provide the the camera on is those who are presenting, right? And then okay, I explain you the time allocations for the debate. So basically in the debate, you guys should speak per speaker for 7 minutes and 20 seconds at the maximum. So because this is Asian parliamentary system, in the first minute, there will be a knock once by the LO. It signifies that the time for POI can be done by your opponent. And then in the next 6 minutes, so the minute of 6, there will be another knocks, right? It means that the time for providing POI is over. So the opponent team are not allowed to over the POI. So after the 6 minutes, there will be 2 knock when it reach the 7 minutes. Okay, 7 minutes, 20 seconds, there will be a continuous knock. That means that you guys need to stop and close your speech. Otherwise, there will be a score reduction. Potentially score reduction. It depends on the adjudicators. But yeah, if you guys exceed the time, meaning that it shows that you do not have a good time allocations and ability to manage your speech. So it affects the performance of that particular speaker. See, and then for the reply speaker is allocated at the maximum of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. In the minute of 3, there will be knock once for the reply speaker. In the minutes of 4, there will be 2 knocks. And the minutes of 4 and 20 seconds, the LO will help you to remind by knocking continuously. It means that your reply speaker speech should be over. Okay, so the reply speaker is from either the first speaker or the second speaker. So the third speaker is not allowed to act the role as the reply speaker. Is that clear? All right. So regarding the POI, guys, you can do the POI, but you cannot say it out loud like in-person debate. So since this is an online debate, when you want to over your POI, please do it through the chat box. Okay, and then if the speaking person accept your POI, the speaking person will choose whose POI is going to be answered. Okay, so you cannot simply and directly say what your POI is. You need to wait for the approval of the speaking person. Okay, remember, you need to wait for the approval over your POI through chat box. And then after the speaking person accept your POI, do your POI. It's okay without your camera on. Remember that the time for giving the POI is 15 seconds at the maximum. Since this is a Zoom and online debate, you can monitor your time spent accordingly through the screen. Ensure that it's a 50 seconds for providing the POI. All right. So whether or not it is allowed to open information from the internet, yes, it is allowed. Since this is an impromptu debate, so all the motions are actually provided directly before the cast building starts. So everyone are allowed to open internet as a mean to gain informations and clue regarding what this motion is all about. Okay, so internet, open source are available in this debate. Is there any question so far? Any concern, any objection that you want to clarify? Hold on. Okay. Another important thing is regarding the adjudication, right? So in the preliminary rounds, both of the rounds are not silent rounds. So the adjudicator will still provide you the feedback. But what the difference is, in the first round, they announce you the winner and the reason behind their decision. But in the second round, in the contrary, they are not going to provide that announcement of the winner, but they will explain it more on the constructive criticism on how you can perform better in that manner. Okay, so do not push your adjudicator to provide who the winner is in the second preliminary round. Okay, second preliminary round is for the constructive feedback only. Okay, and then you guys can come back to the debaters hall. I think the committee will help you to assign it back, to go back to the debaters hall, and then wait for the announcement. We have a questions here, let me address it. Okay, should we turn on our camera when we want to do the POI? I think you do not need to turn it on, but if it is easier for you to turn it on, just turn it on. So that it is not an obligatory to turn on the camera when providing the POI, because it needs to be very quick, right? Remember, only 15 seconds. I'm afraid that there is a technical glitch and the connection issue might hamper the process. So it is okay not to turn your camera on. Is that clear? Okay. So regarding the adjudicator feedback, the adjudicator feedback will be 12 minutes at the maximum. It also involves their time for deliberation. So after the debate finishes, the judges will have a deliberations. They will think and decide, and then providing the feedback, the total minutes will be 12 minutes at the maximum. So if you have any further questions, you have any further query that you want to have the feedback from the adjudicators, you can contact adjudicator directly. Kindly ask them their personal number, their WhatsApp number, and then they will do the feedback through voice notes. So their mandatory duty is to provide the feedback by voice notes, right? But they have no obligation to continuously, responding to your questions. Yeah, because they also have another duty to do, which is to adjudicate. So they have also things to prepare. So they are only obliged to provide voice notes when asked. Is that clear? Can I have the confirmation, please? Anyone? Okay, let me check whether my partner Jamila is already on the room. Okay, wait, hold on. Another question's coming in. Okay. If a team lose, is it eliminated or continue? Okay, guys, so we have two preliminary rounds, right? So in the preliminary round, meaning that you can still compete regardless you win or not, because we will assess your team based on the overall, overall rounds. And then we will sort your team's rank based on your victory points, score, and the margin as previously explained. So you still need to debate for those two rounds. Okay, it is mandatory for the teams to debate for those two rounds. We call it preliminary. So everyone needs to continue the debate. You win or you lose, you need to continue. Okay, after the preliminary rounds done, we will do the ranking to derive the 4 best team. Okay, we call it the elimination round. The elimination round consists of semi-final and the grand final. So those who do not proceed for the final round, yeah, you can you are not allowed to continue, and yeah, instead you are not eligible to continue in the elimination. Is the message clear? Nakula, does that answer your question? Yeah, since there is no response, I bet it answers your questions. So let me check first whether my colleague is already on the room, because she will be helping me to share the screen and show the matchup. Okay, everyone, I need to do the roll call. You do not need to turn your speaker on, just answer it through the chat box, and the LO in charge of your team will confirm whether your team is complete or not. I would like to call for the SMA Regina Pacis A. Okay, Regina Pacis A complete. I can confirm. The LO, can we confirm? LO, can I get a confirmation from LO as well? Okay, LO from Regina Pacis A, please, because the debater confirmed that they are complete already. Okay, no response. Yeah, just assume that Regina Pacis A are complete. Regina Pacis B. Regina Pacis B. Okay, complete. Regina Pacis C. All right. Canisius A. Canisius A. Can we have the team please to confirm? Or the LO? LO? Okay, Canisius A complete. Canisius B. We are here, meaning that you are complete or not. Okay, complete. SMA 5 Bogor. Okay. SMKN 3 Bogor. Okay. Since we have everyone in the room already, my colleague Jamila will so screen you the matchup. It's just wait for her to show the matchup. Wow.
Minum.
Hi guys, this is the matchup. Okay. Okay, I noted that there may be a potential conflict for this allocation. The judges actually informed me regarding this potential conflict. I will rearrange the matchup. Hold on a second.
So, does this mental health relevant with our productivity? Yes, absolutely. Because when you have an unstable mental health, that can pull the string to your productivity, which means that you cannot focus on your work, do some assessment, or doing your hobbies. But if you have a stable mental health, you can focus on your work, doing some assessment, do your activities, hang out with your friend, doing your hobbies or whatever you want, and make you funny. And without feeling worried or feeling anxiety. I think that's enough for my speech today. I hope my speech can be useful for all of us. Thank you for your nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih. Thank you Sekar Utami Ngatiri. And the next one is Adinda Sasikirana Hanura.
Kisha Amanda.
Adinda Sasikirana Haruna.
Oh, okay.
Hanura.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Adinda Sasikirana Hanura. You can call me Adinda. I'm from Alfida Islamic Junior High School. In this moment, let me stand here to deliver a speech about mental health versus productivity during pandemic. In this good opportunity, no one proper I say except Alhamdulillah to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given many favors to us so we can attend Prodigy English Speech Contest. My salawat and salam be with our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who brought us from the dark ages to the bright times like today. Ladies and gentlemen, the COVID-19 pandemic has changed many things, including the order of our lives. It's like everyone is forced to get out of their comfort zone, where they usually work, study, and doing other activities outside the home. But now, all these activities can only be done in front of their gadget screen in their home. Many people have health problems during pandemic, both physically and mentally. World Mental Health Day October 10 ago reminded us to stay sane in a pandemic situation like this. Being productive not only takes a lot of time, but also energy, physically and mentally. Even though we are just busy in front of the screen, these activities are quite draining and sometimes feel less effective. That is not surprising that some people sometimes feel stressed about their routines. Rest is also important. We still have to more control our times and energy. So we can in a freshman is a creative mind. We should rest and study with time. So that is thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you Adinda Sasikirana Hanura. The next one is Keisha Amanda Martadila.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. A'ma ba'du. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Keisha. I am from Shimalkawan Junior High School, Sumedang. Today, I would like to deliver a speech entitled The Importance of Maintaining Mental Health During the Pandemic COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this has been a year the pandemic COVID-19 has attacked us. It has changed the way we live. It has changed everything. It's called the new normal. Yes, we wear masks all the time. We wash our hands as often as possible. We stay away from our beloved ones. We limit mobility, and we just stay at home. If this new normal life were not implemented correctly, it may harm our mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, what is mental health? Mental health simply is how mental health is implemented by the World Health Organization as a state of ini jaringannya. Permisi. Permisi, ini masih di
Ya, kenapa?
koneksi internetnya jelek. Permisi Kak, koneksinya jelek.
Halo?
Halo,
Iya, iya.
koneksinya jelek. Bisa diulang?
Ya, bisa diulang,
Yeah, it's okay. Take your time. You can repeat your speech.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. A'ma ba'du. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Keisha. I am from Shimalkawan Junior High School, Sumedang. Today, I would like to deliver a speech entitled The Importance of Maintaining Mental Health During the Pandemic COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, what is mental health? Simply, mental health is about how you perceive yourself and others. Furthermore, mental health is defined by the World Health Organization as a state of well-being in which individual realizes his or her own abilities, can cope with the normal stress of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to contribution with his or her community. Ladies and gentlemen, during this pandemic COVID-19, does everyone care about his or her mental health? Is mental health something forgotten right now? Yes, I think so. Do you want some evidence? First evidence. Do you still remember how come a woman has been arrested in Banten for allegedly killing her 8-year-old daughter over her poor schoolwork during online learning? Is her mental healthy? No, of course not. The woman can cope with the normal stress, which means mentally she is not healthy. Second evidence, in our own home, in our own houses, most of us just lie down on our beds, keep scrolling our mobile phones, and keep checking status and messages while watching TV with the bad news. Is our mental healthy? No, of course not. If we cannot productively, means mentally we are not healthy. Third evidence, during this pandemic COVID-19, most of people are worrying about everything, about their education, jobs, and economic, and so on. Is health for our mental? No, of course not.
on Indonesian Psychological Association, during 1 year, more than 4,000 or 64.8% in Indonesia had mental problem. So it's the time for us to pay attention for our mental health. Ladies and gentlemen, mental health is something that's still taboo to talk. Most of people do not like talk about it. Or even most of us just don't know that it's very important. If our hands hurt, it's blending, and you see that you need help, But if our mental hurt, you cannot see it, and you don't seek help from others, and your mental one is getting worse, and that's very, very dangerous. Ladies and gentlemen, state on some journal, mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine we handle to stress, relate to others, and makes healthy choices. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 strategies to maintain our mental health during pandemic. First, setting the time. By setting the time for all activities, you can clear target to achieve. Second, work out regularly. Work out regularly can improve our mental because it does our mood instantly. Third, and at least but not least, even it is the most important one, drawing closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because it can give us unlimited stretch, hope, and joy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for my speech. Let's care about our mental health. That is pretty much it. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Nice speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Keisha Amanda Marsadila. The next one is Salsabila Adinda.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good evening, everyone, judges and audience. I'm here for a reason. I'm going to deliver my speech about a very interesting topic, mental health versus productivity during the pandemic. So, mental health is emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how something bad ever happened to me that turned me into like another person. I become hate study, and I feel like there's something wrong with my mental. I feel like I need something to heal. So I talked to a lot of people, then someone told me um, to heal because they told me to heal myself because they say that you can heal yourself, nobody can do it for you. If you keep think that it was hard, then you won't be better. Um,
Ditunggu sebentar ya. Oke, karena Salsabila Dinda lagi mengalami gangguan teknis, kita lanjut ke partisipan selanjutnya dulu ya. Untuk Ratu Kaisya, apakah sudah ada? Oke, Ratu Kaisya nggak ada. Selanjutnya Ahmed Fariski.
Ya.
Ya, dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone. How are you doing? I hope you all had a nice condition. Anyway, I have to tell my name first. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmed Fariski. I'm a 7th grade at 3 Junior High School, South Tangerang, and I live in Kedah. Yeah, like you know the title, I will explain how video games become an escape for children. I thought all of you experienced how was online school in this pandemic era. Yeah, that makes our morning time changing. In the morning, we study and go to school until afternoon, and then do homework. After that, we can really do anything in evening or night. This time now we study online. That means we just do tasks from home. Plus Google make anything easier. So now we have a massive spare time, but we don't have any activities to do. That's what made me and children at my age play video game for our escape. Yeah, that's a normal thing for a normal people, but there's a negative impact too. We play games not in our spare time. Despite there are other more important to do, we prefer to play game. That's really disturb our activities. That's made us scolded by our parents. Obviously, we're getting addicted. We don't know why we get addicted, but I'm pretty sure we have our own reasons. So many that we see a lot of teenagers, children, and also adults got addicted to games. They also play game while walking or eating. This is full of risk. We may get an accident or snatched up. For people who is strong, they can self-defend well, but not all of us, especially game addicted. Because of that, we must be very careful to handle our habit to avoid unexpected problems. The escape must be useful and efficient. It can be an escape, but so much negative impacts until I cannot mention it one by one. The point is, video games cannot be a good escape. Come on, guys, be creative. Can you look to something apart from playing video games? Innovate your brain. I don't forbid all of you to play video game. I play game also, but don't play too much. So many that we see and hear that persons who get success when he is already old. Perhaps he can get it when he is young. This could happen if he is wasting his time too much when he is young by playing video games or nothing. The point is when you waste your time for useless things, you will regret what you have done in the end. It's just like my problem. Regrets always in the end, and the only way to solve it is regret in the beginning. Haha. So it's getting proud. After listening to this, would you like to move on? Just for people who are addicted to games, guys. Don't bring your emotion to game. It's just for fun. Use your strategy to win and try to lose the game. Be patient. Don't be mad, but focus to how to win. That's it. In closing, I will explain all about how video games become an escape for children. Yep, because this condition. But now we already have a new normal. That means we must find a new better escape than video games. This is 2021. We will start a normal study a few months ahead. I will remind all of you to use your times thoughtfully. Goodbye and peace. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selanjutnya, Selin Salma Saidah.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. May Allah bless you all with good health and happiness. My name is Selin Salma Saidah. It is really an honor for me to have this opportunity to deliver my speech in front of you. The topic of my speech today is very important, especially for teenagers. The topic is mental health versus productivity during pandemic. As far as I'm concerned, nobody wants to get contracted with COVID-19. The Indonesian government is aware of it. That's why the president
and his ministers are trying hard to protect the Indonesian people from getting the coronavirus by limiting its spread. The vast majority of people have to work from home. Students have to study from home. Health protocol must be applied, such as wearing masks, keeping a safe distance from other people, washing hands, avoiding handshakes, and preventing big crowds. However, great the efforts of the government, the victims of this deadly virus have reached thousands of people in our country. Although many of the patients gained back their health, many of them had to face tragic deaths. Their families and friends are not allowed to see their dead bodies, which is really sad and scary. Therefore, like it or not, people have to live in unsafe circumstances. People have to adapt themselves to new situations. It's not easy. Because of that, many of them experience mental health problems. In the meantime, they must try hard to remain productive, to survive economically and socially. Many people who have lost their jobs or businesses are leading a stressful life because they have to think about their sources of income. In their confusion and panic, very often they become isolated, distressed, and frustrated. They feel that life is no fun at all. It seems that all doors are closed to them. They're just helpless and hopeless. However, many others who are also impacted by the COVID-19 are able to keep their optimism. They push themselves to be more creative and innovative. They try new business ideas, such as selling things online. They try to create unique and attractive products. In short, they try to do things they never imagined before. Surprisingly, many of them are very successful. They even say the COVID-19 pandemic is a blessing in disguise to them. Similarly, many students think that studying from home is quite burdensome. First, they often have problems with the internet connection. Second, sometimes they cannot always do their assignments well. Not only because they don't understand, but also there are too many assignments to finish. As you know, when students are stressed, many parents are also stressed because they cannot always help their son or daughter. However, other students think that the study from home is a good time to relax. If they don't know how to do certain assignments, they can always ask their friends easily. Some of them even have the idea of sharing their jobs. For example, there are 4 assignments to finish. 2 students agree to share the assignments between them. So each of them only does 2 assignments. Imagine if 4 students share the work, it means each of them only does 1 assignment at a time. How about their score? Actually, they don't really care. The most important thing, they will be promoted to the next grade. Needless to say, these groups of students seem to have found effective ways to deal with stressful situations during the COVID-19 pandemic. To them, the pandemic period is just another adventures of their lives. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Salim Salma Saidah. Dan selanjutnya Alia Danis.
Honorable judges, all of the participants, and respected audience. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Before I start this speech, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Alia Danish Hermadi, and I am from SMP Negeri 1 Bogor. Today, I am here standing before you all to deliver a speech with the topic of mental health versus productivity. So, as we all know, COVID-19 has been changing things in our life, like even now. Usually, we should go to SMANSA and compete in there, but now we just here in front of our computers and talk our speech. Let's all take a look back to the days before this pandemic started. The way that the city was so busy and the crowd and the way that we usually spend all of our time from day to night outside the house. Either it is because of school or working, meeting with people, interacting with people, or for whatever reason that is. For whatever purposes that is, we must at least spend time outside 5 days in a week, or even for most people, every day in a week. But now things change and we can't roam around freely in the city. We have to stay at home because of the COVID. To be honest, I was a bit shocked about this because I never expect this. I mean, just imagine. You were at school having fun with your friends, having fun with school, everything was great, and then the next day the government announced to do a lockdown due to COVID. That is so sad. But due to COVID. Okay, so this is the reason why COVID affects our mental health. Because at the first time when we knew that COVID is happening, it affects us a lot. Like we were starting to get stressed, we were starting to be scared and phobia of getting COVID, getting infected. So we just started to overthinking and things bad kind of like happened. So before I continue to telling you about mental health, you all need to understand the definition of mental health. Mental health is a state of well-being. Mental health includes our psychology, social well-being, and emotional. Protocols, which are wearing masks, washing our hands frequently with soap, physical distancing. And then we expected COVID to get better. We had high hopes and optimism that COVID will get better, but now it's already been a year and COVID hasn't still gone any better. So those 3 protocols they added 2 more protocols, which is avoid the crowd and limit the social and limiting the mobility of people. So what is the relation between COVID-19 and mental health? COVID-19 affects our mental health because, like I said before, we feel scared, overthinking, and we are bored. We can't go anywhere. In order to keep our mental health as great as normal, we have to do productive things. Productive things are things that are useful for us. I know that we can't do things that we usually do, like maybe we like traveling or shopping or hanging out with friends. We can't do that. But there are some things that we can do. In fact, a lot of things that we can do at home. Like one of them are art. Art is one of a productive thing to do. We could do crafting and create things and also express ourselves. Secondly, the productive thing that is based on my personal experience is I like to do some bullet journaling. Bullet journal is something where you plan your stuff in there, and it's very great to be like stress relief and also just keep track of your life and keep track of your studies and everything. And also other productive things that we can do at home is probably, if you like music, you can do music. You can make songs and express yourself. The fourth thing that we can do is we can also exercise and meditate to just get away from bad mental health. Other than that, for those who are Muslims, you can also do Haji praying, especially in this Ramadan. And yeah. But the most important thing is that you also have to find your passion. We have to find our passion in home because we have lots of time right now, and we could easily find our passion. Well, it's not that easy, but I have seen a lot of people finding their passions starting from this beginning of COVID. Some of them who like art, like my friends, they just posted on social media and start selling their artwork and they got money, or creating a website and they got money. So there are so many things we can do at home. But the most important of all is we have to always keep positive, think positive, because if we don't think positive and if we don't have the guts to do things, then it's just the same. We can't do anything. So because of that, we have to keep our body, our mental healthy, positive by doing those stuff. And also another way, we could also like communicate with our family and just communicate with each other to be a stress relief for us. And yeah, I think that's all. But in conclusion, it actually is up to us. Either we want to make this pandemic a great way for us to find new things to do, find useful things to do, or it could also be a way for us to just feel sorry and just be bored. And I hope we all learn something from that. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Alia Denis. And next one is Gadis Destina.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The honorable judges and my lovely friends, how are you today? First, I would like to thank the Almighty God that because of him I'm able to attend this contest. Secondly, may salawat and salam always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who had brought us from the darkness to this bright modern era that we live in today. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the judges and the committees for giving me the special opportunity to compete in this contest. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gadis Destina Damayanti. You can call me Gadis. I'm from 4 Junior High School Bogor or SMPN 4 Bogor, and now I'm standing here to deliver my speech. I hope you are feeling as amazing as I am right now. Sad, to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous and upset because of the coronavirus still remain in our country for more than a year. But I'm not here to tell you about what I'm feeling. Instead, I will tell you about mental health versus productivity during pandemic. Talking about this, let me ask you this one time. In this pandemic, have you ever felt stressed while carrying out your daily activities all day in front of your gadget screen? Let's discuss. Imagine this pandemic has changed a lot of our daily activities all day to prevent the transmissions of this virus. We must do something to home to prevent the transmissions of this virus. We spend work, college, school, and other activities in front of the gadget screen. Sometimes we feel trapped and stressed, which interferes with our mental health and productivity. But we are want to be productive in this pandemic, you must maintain your mental health. As we know, mental health is a condition that affects our moods, thoughts, and behavior. The examples are depression, anxiety disorders, and eating disorder. This is what can affect our productivity during this pandemic. So how do we maintain our mental health in the middle of this pandemic? So let's get started. First, reduce news intake. Reading information or news is necessary, but don't let it make you feel anxious and disturb your mental health. Second, spend time with your family so that you feel comfortable and your mood feels calmer. In this pandemic, because we are constantly at home, we need communication with family so as not to be stressed. And lastly, exercise and consumptions of nutritious food. Exercise can help you to be fresher. And with the help of the nutritious food, to be physically healthy, and it will also have a positive effect on mental health. If our mental health is maintained, our productivity during pandemic will also be maintained. Likewise, if our mental health is disturbed, our productivity during the pandemic will be also disturbed. Our productivity during this pandemic will also be disturbed. These two things are closely related, so we have to keep it balanced. Mental health is very important to be maintained. In addition, immunity can also decrease if you're feeling anxious. This will increase the risk of pandemic transmitting the virus in the middle of this pandemic. Productivity during a pandemic is equally important to protect. Discipline with time and making a daily schedule are just a few of examples for us to stay productive. We must continue to work actively, creatively, and productively, even in the middle of this pandemic. As the mayor of Bogor, Mr. Bima Arya, said in his last Instagram post, pandemic is not an obstacle for us to keep innovating, productive, and creative. It's only nature of the coronavirus and pandemic will end soon. So our mental health will improve and our productivity will increase. I think that's all I say in my speech. I hope it's hopeful for you guys. I'm sorry if there are mistakes. And thank you for attention. Have a good time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Gadis Destina. Oh, okay. Is Salsabila Adinda here?
Yeah.
Okay. You may deliver your speech again.
Okay. I'm sorry for the awkward speech before and for the connection. I'm going to try again my speech. Now I'm going to deliver a speech about an interesting topic, productivity versus mental health during the pandemic. In this pandemic situation, at the beginning of this pandemic, government warned us to stay at home. As a student, what we can do at that time was only study at home. I'm a study lover. Something bad ever happened to me, happened to us. You know what? Yes, pandemic. That made me have to stop study for a while. I like study, but I have to meet the teacher. Wrongly at that time, I look at the social media where a lot of people share their productivity. They share that they study hard, they learn a new skill, they start a business and blah, blah, blah. At that time, what do you think am I doing? Yes, I'm at my bedroom lying and scroll my Instagram. First, what came to my mind was that they are very cool. But indirectly, I compare myself to them. The more I look at them, the more I think that I'm not worth. I forgot that Salsabila before was a study harder. And suddenly, I'm afraid of future, afraid of being lost with them, afraid if I will lose if I compare to them. I was so afraid. But along with the time, and now I've healed, I think. People told me People who close to me told me that keep your mental priority first. Find your inner peace, then they will help you through a lot of things. Your worth is not measured by your productivity. This pandemic helped make me stronger. Trust me, I know that it's not happened to me. This bad time isn't happened to me. But trust me, someday that this pandemic will turn us into a wise storyteller. Yeah, that's all my speech. Don't sleep tonight. Wake up and do sport. Don't forget to have a breakfast if you're not fasting. Be happy, be safe. Be safe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Salsabila Dinda. Is Ratu Keisha here? Okay, Ratu. Oke, karena Ratu Keisha nggak ada, jadi untuk babak penyisian sudah selesai. Sekarang akan menunggu penilaian dari Dewan Juri. Untuk peserta bisa menunggu di sini atau keluar terlebih dahulu. Untuk pengumuman top 5-nya akan dikirim melalui via grup WhatsApp. Ya. Terima kasih.
Rise of citizen journalism. According to Britannica.com, citizen journalism is defined as journalism that is conducted by people who are not professional journalists, but who disseminate information using websites, blogs, social media, such as Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and many more. Citizen journalism has expanded its worldwide influence despite continuing concerns over whether citizen journalisms are as reliable as trained professionals. Indecisive zones have provided instant text and visual reporting on the scene. The journalistic landscape is changing, especially on the internet are new forms of journalism available. But we really have to ask ourselves, are all things displayed in the media the truth? How can we be so sure about the truth lying behind the actual events? So, the affirmative team, we are proud to announce that we regret the rise of citizen journalism. I will be talking to you about how believing the public mass is a bad idea, and the new information being delivered by citizens can be frightening. The outstanding negative impacts of citizen journalism, which outweigh the benefits, will be further elaborated by the second speaker. And the third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. I would like to commence my speech with a valid argument that should be taken into consideration. This new form of journalism has also changed the media consumption. Technology has filled the world with a flood of undifferentiated information, changing the audience from messages and information from passive recipients to consumers who share what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. In the horizon of the new world of citizen journalism, a Los Angeles Times article suggests that the results are mixed, but disadvantages which outweigh the advantages of social journalism. Price points examples of enthusiasm, promise, and atrocious spelling errors in sites large by unpaid, untrained, and unedited citizen reporters who say they commit acts of journalism more for kicks than out of a sense of civic calling. Keep in mind that mass communication is based on public opinion. Often the mass media has an effect in changing the human behavior through the interpersonal communication about the topic. Therefore, expanding media can influence thoughts and beliefs of the society. And how can we trust public opinions, let alone utilizing obscure evidences in some cases? Citizens now have the opportunity to provide photos and reports where there are still no journalists on the ground. For example, during the violent outbreaks in Turkey in 2013, citizens' deep dissatisfaction was revealed through blogs, open letters, videos, and pictures through citizen journalism. Especially the social media tool, Facebook, was used as the main source of the information. According to Times article, it is mentioned that large quantities of lies were spread across the country that were being published by the citizens. Therefore, we can conclude that citizen journalism has a huge negative impact on spreading lies about the protest. Although we are aware that sometimes it surely brings positive impacts as well, we have to consider the great negative outcomes that appear. So, honorable judges and respectable opponent team, to sum up everything that has been stated so far, we, the government team, regrets the rise of citizen journalism in this modern world due to the inaccuracy of news or information being delivered in forms of text or images and videos by the public mass or citizens. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, first speaker, for that speech. Now welcome the first speaker of team opposition. Here.
Please wait a sec, I'm arranging my paper. Am I audible?
Yep, clear.
Okay. Please wait a sec, I'm setting my own timer as well. Okay. I'm going to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panels realize that in status quo, citizen journalism has already exists, right? And realize how it makes the news flows rapidly and how it is easier to access in any platform. For example, on Instagram, you have Volkatif, etc., etc. Realize how this actually makes the netizens much more aware with the current issue that's happening, which I will explain later in my arguments. Therefore, we believe that citizen journalism should still exist, and therefore, our goal is to make news easier to access, make people more aware of the news, and also to make this news distribution spread equally in every single platform. And our mechanism and our proposal will happen under the mechanism of 3 points. First of all, we will stick to the status quo where citizen journalism exists. Second of all, where news is not only exposed to the media by official news outlets, but also in many rising media outlets as well. For example, in YouTube, website, or Instagram, where general public has access to upload or report on any news. And third of all, we will still have official news outlets, for example, Metro TV and TV1, etc., etc. Before moving on to my arguments, I want to rebut the other side of the house. They told you that believing citizens isn't a great idea. And one response to this, this is unjustified, ladies and gentlemen. How can you justify it as a citizen, believing a citizen isn't a great idea, when, for example, you are witnessing a really harmful tragedy in front of your eyes, and you need to spread the news because you want other people to be more aware of it, right? You cannot justify citizens by only saying you cannot believing them isn't a great idea, since there are still citizens that are aware of what they are uploading in the social media. And for the harms for this as well, I'm going to explain later in my arguments. Moving on to my principle. Why citizen journalism and how do we deal with the cons? First of all, why is it morally correct? Why is it justified for citizens to do citizen journalism as the publisher? News isn't something to be limited. It is also the part of the society and how society sees the problems on the news. News is here for the public to consume so that they knew what's happening in the status quo and how it can affect their lives, etc., etc. By having the citizen journalism existing, not only that the citizens need to consume the news, but can report the news as well. Therefore, this is justified for the citizen, firstly, because they have the right to share the news. They have the right to voice their opinion as well through many outlets that doesn't have to be an official outlet. For example, you saw a tragedy where a physical abuse is happening in front of your eyes that's being acted by official workers, for example. You don't want to stay silent. You want to help the victim first, then share the news so that people become more aware of this kind of situation that might be happening. Therefore, this is justified for the publisher. Second, it's justified to have citizen journalism to the audience. In the other side of the house, they told you, right? Hoax will spread even more. False news and accusations are coming here and there since they have easier and unlimited access to report and expose uncertain news. Let's bite the bullet and say that hoax exists in our side. We concede the fact that hoax might still happen, but panels realize that even if hoax does exist in our side, what we say that it is the citizen's job at the very first place. It is our job as a citizen to be aware of the news that's coming, verifying contains false information. And these outlets will take them down eventually, and it is already proven to you that this is already happening in the status quo. Furthermore, there are already many websites or facilities you can use to clarify certain news, if it is hoax or not. Even in Google, there is a fact check option where you can check the news that you have. Therefore, we can see how hoax can still be tackled in our side of the house. Third, in my principle, is the actors who are being journalized by the citizen. Social media power is huge. Realize how even a few seconds after a news was being uploaded to the media, there will be numerous response to it right away. And realize how society reacts to it. If we say that it is a horrible news, that an actor in that news did a very horrible action towards this action that commit the action, how the citizens, how the audience react to it is somehow very impactful, to the point where these actors can actually evaluate themselves even more, since this news is exposed to the media without any coverage, since biased news in social media, official news outlets does exist in the status quo, which I will explain later in my practical argument. Moving to my practical, how citizen journalism creates a wider range of news and information and a more aware citizen. First, how in status quo official news media outlets can be harmful. It is already proven in the status quo and how news media outlets that are official are biased, ladies and gentlemen. How some news media outlets belong to a certain political parties. For example, realize how TV1, one of the biggest official news outlets, is even biased by the political party of Golkar, since it is owned by the Bakri Group. Realize how this holds news from being distributed equally, how this biased news outlets can bring harm to the news consumers as well as the other citizens as well. Therefore, not only news, not all news can make it to the official news media outlets, right? For example, if people from that certain political party that owns the news media outlet act a horrible action, of course, the news media outlets are being biased that they won't report that news because they want to protect their members, right? This will be harmful because citizens don't realize how this news is being very important, since many news are being covered by these official news media outlets. They won't know every single news that are actually happening in the status quo. But in comparison, in our side of the house, even regular citizens also have access to upload to expose all of the news that they are experienced or that they witness, right? They will be able to share on whatever that they saw in front of their eyes. Therefore, every news can be uploaded and it's not being biased, and every single news that are happening in the status quo will be distributed equally without any bias preferences. And that's all that we're proud to oppose. Thank you.
Thank you, first speaker up for that speech, and I will welcome the Deputy Prime Minister, second speaker of government, here.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
All right. Let me set my stopwatch first. So I'm going to start this in 3, 2, 1. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, the honorable judges and the distinguished opposition team. My name is Raul Fadil Bagus Mariada, speaking on behalf of the government team as the second speaker. Would like to dispute arguments given by the first speaker of the opposition team and deliver our statement with data firmly and accurately. Before I elaborate further on my arguments, I'd like to emphasize our stance as the government team that this side of the House regrets the rise of citizen journalism. Moreover, I'd like to commence my time to give some rebuttal first regarding the arguments that have been previously stated by the first speaker of the side of the House. The side of the House believes that news that are spread towards social media, yes, they are all of them and used with experience and all of that. But here is the problem. The problem is the validation. These House arguments cannot be used because in such case, they only use their news from their own point of view, and furthermore, news from the TV, such as TV1, as you said, and Metro TV, they already have their own professional standards for this, and they already have some research. They already studied so much a long time for journalism. And secondly, they're also like where I will explain further on my arguments. Now let's jump on my arguments first. The first argument is about the moral, that how it affects our moral in Indonesia country. Firstly, as the word complexity is now really high in today's digital world, social media plays a major role in the spreading of information and news. Everyone with a smartphone can become a citizen journalist nowadays. However, citizen journalism creates another problem: privacy violation and online bullying. Shown by the data from Microsoft in 2020, they clarified that the Indonesians' politeness in internet along 2020 during this pandemic, of course, they said they got 29 rank from 32 countries and they are the worst in Southeast of Asia. And this honorable judges and also the opposition team, this shows that yes, Indonesia has played a big role in social media and also uh, citizen journalism. Yet it also threatened the big name of Indonesia country, the moral for all next generations. Citizen journalism create rooms, of course, where user can make their own journalism, but not from the professional one. Not everything posted on the internet is real and credible. And don't say things on the internet that you won't say in the review. And nextly, I'll explain my second arguments, which is economic and harm. And these issues harm the development of journalism in Indonesia. I will give you an example about, firstly, there's Lambetura. You know, his account is already blocked. And why? Why is the reason? Because he gives hoax news. Therefore, it explains how this spread out arguments is bad in social media. Yes, we still accept that this is sometimes good in such case, but in such case, it really harms the journalism development in Indonesia. When there's journal in social media made by randoms and anonymous people, sometimes this shows information that isn't shows in news, right? Yes, it's a good reveal, but this also harm the economic effect for TV that are providing valid news. They would be accused for not giving the true news. However, as already said from the rebuttal, news media already have their own professional standard for this, and they cannot just, oh, we're not valid, oh, we're still valid, because it's dangerous. It also, the evolution of technology is now also bring harm, not in moral case, but also in economic and the development of journalism. Let me show you the data. 800,000 of sites that are already scanned that is hoax in Indonesia. This shows that the citizen journalism works unethically. Hoax is bad, you know, especially for our parents, our families, and all of them. Yes, it's very bad. It used unethically. It may happen for every person in Indonesia. At the end of the day, this issue might be handled efficiently by us by stopping the rise of this journalism, and we claim our one in this debate as the data and reality supports primarily to our strategies and solutions that we have proposed. Hence, these issues should be tackled together in order to fulfill the needs of the society and all the fruitful impact to all of us. Proud to affirm. Thank you.
Thank you, DPM, for that speech, and I will welcome the Deputy Leader of Opposition. Here.
Wait a sec. I will arrange my paper first.
Leader of Opposition, Deputy Leader, are you ready? Cool.
Am I audible?
Yep.
And for POI preference, just unmute yourself and say POI. Okay. Wait. I'll set my timer first. I'm gonna start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, social media is currently the main platform for citizens to interact and find out about the latest news, and they also have the right as social media users to upload news according to their knowledge through sources and that are certainly reliable and reasonable. Thus, we as citizens who have the wisdom to interact with the other citizens through social media should have the rights to convey our knowledge about the latest news and of course that are in accordance with the facts that are not changeable from our point of view as citizens. And moving on to my rebuttal, uh, the government team said that journalists have done research to collect news, and we as the citizens, journalism does not have validation to collect news. We believe that it is untrue because even though we upload information that is also taken from TV and the formal platform, we also collect this data from our authorities and we can still be deported by those who feel our information is invalid. And they also say that they also didn't explain on how they can tackle the harms and happen in their site by saying journalism is bad. So we don't have any. They don't have any excuses for explaining that argument. And so moving on in my arguments. The first one, I'm gonna explain how citizen journalism affect the society and why we defend the existence of citizen journalism. And the second one, I'm gonna explain about why a world without citizen journalism is insignificant. So firstly, as we know that now social media is the main means for citizens to absorb absorb information from various news and to get complete information that can fulfill the desire of the citizens to absorb information about these news. We as citizens need to provide a place or an opportunity to express our knowledge about the information that we already know. By providing opportunities for citizens to upload or to gather their knowledge through the social media, we also create benefits for other social media users and other social media users that we have that we help find additional information because sometimes formal platforms like in the TV usually only provide incomplete information so that we as citizens sometimes experience a lack of what information do we want to get. For that, as rational citizens, we should have the opportunity to convey our information to our knowledge that is in accordance with the fact. And citizen journalism also gives benefit to the society as well. Uh, by allowing citizen journalism, there are several benefits that we can take as we can find out various information about latest news completely and make more sense because sometimes if we only see or absorb the latest news information through formal platforms in TV, we can't absorb the complete information. So sometimes the information we absorb contains various elements that make information irrelevant or insensible. And this method can certainly bring other benefits, such as for the social media side. If we are not allowed to collect or upload information about the latest news to the public, social media will not get the benefits as well. That should be the consumption of citizens to use social media to dig deeper information. And as we know, sometimes formal platforms that only contain information through journalists to the actual journalists actually do not fully contain information that makes sense or cover up and or that's just seen as a cover up for an accident for their good name. So what they convey can cause a lack of information about the news they collect. And second, why a world without citizen journalism is insignificant. We have 2 points under these arguments. The first one is news industry will not be productive. As I said in my arguments, this will, with regard this method, it can bring disadvantage to the entertainment world because they have target of consuming citizens to open their platform to interact others and upload the latest news according to their knowledge. When they don't use platforms because they don't have additional information about the news that happened, they automatically don't achieve their target. And the second one, people will have less perspective to look at. Realize that citizen journalism can act as the eye of citizens and how citizens will see a certain problem. If you remove that society, we will be left by just this big newscast. And if they cannot prove that bias is not exists in big newscasts, the problem in both sides is symmetrical. And that's why we're so proud to oppose. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Leader of Opposition, for that speech. And I will welcome the government whip. Here, here.
go to depression. They don't really think too far into how they think how worthless they are. They're just sure they're impressionable, but that's just what they are. They're just children. They're impressionable and will just look up to these kids, look up to these adults. But you won't really expect them to just start buying stuff and thinking that, oh, if I don't buy this, I'm worthless. I'm gonna go cut myself. No, that's not really how it is. Now, and then your second speaker also said that the world is filled with rules that are limiting freedom of speech. To my opinion, I have no idea, but it has to correlate with the debate we're currently having right now. So I think that's very irrelevant. And you said that, well, the piano example that my first speaker has mentioned, how it's like talent. Talent is like, the commodity, such as wealth, that can be used to create content. Well, and then you said that piano is not a good example. It's not the person that you are. Talent is not the person, it's not the person. Well, here's the thing. What are you talking about? Didn't your speaker say something about talent? So basically what you're doing is that you're rebutting your own first speaker, government team. What you're doing, what you've done is just, contradict what your first speaker have said, which is quite a bad thing. Quite a bad thing to do, in my opinion. And then you said that nowadays people spend time on social media and have the incentive to buy products. I'll get to my arguments in a bit. So just hold on to that thought for a while. I'll get to that for a second. Anyways, speaking of, arguments in general, let's talk about it, shall we? First of all, one of my arguments is that it can motivate people to want to improve themselves and or become successful or be with other people. Now, that's quite different from what you say, how like, it makes them, I feel useless. Well, here's the thing. By making them motivate themselves and become successful, yeah, sure. Even if they don't reach the same level of wealth, like they don't buy Lambos, they don't buy Ferraris, they don't get a huge house in, I don't know, Hollywood. Inspiration is still useful. They still work hard. They still work hard to achieve what they want, and to motivate them. Not. And that's the thing. Most of these content creators, they don't say, they don't outright just say that they're useless. Sure, they flaunt their wealth, but I guarantee you, most of these content creators, they inspire their viewers so that in turn they'll know how to better themselves and how to be better people in general in life. Aim for the moon, and you don't get that, at least you reach among the stars. Second of all, these content creators, they make content and using the wealth of the rich as accommodation to create content. It still provides emotional support to those who are down and in need. I guarantee you, during these hard times, you're definitely gonna feel bored. You have nothing to do, or you feel down, you feel depressed. I guarantee you, a lot of content creators out there are, even though they might not know this, they're there to help you indirectly by giving you entertainment that you need during this whole pandemic, staying at home, which is currently just terrible. These people are there just to help you get through life, even though they don't want, even though that's not really their first thing, even if it's not their first intention, they're still doing it nonetheless, providing you entertainment. Now, third of all, it helps the economy, increasing sales of products with help from these content creators by using sponsors such as G Fuel, which is currently sponsored that many content creators such as professional gamers use Now you might say that oh my god, it's consumerism, guys. It'll make them waste a lot of money. But here's the thing, that's a bit too much of a stretch. You might say that there
Bel, Prodigy kok di sini, Bel?
That's what that's it. That is what it is. And thank you for my debate.
The second speaker of the opposition has spoken for 7 minutes and 28 seconds. Responding to the opposition's case, please welcome the third speaker of the government.
Hold on. Hello, I'm sorry for I'm sorry my laptop was off from the second opposition. The last thing I heard was they will not suddenly opt into consumerism because these people are still people. It's not like they are the god. I'm really sorry because it was low bad. So can I get the rest of the speech from the second opposition?
So wait, do you want me to just redo the speech in general or what?
So the last thing I've heard was about people will not opt into consumerism.
Oh, okay then. So I just start off from there.
Yes, just continue until your last sentence of your speech. I'm really sorry for that.
Okay, wait a sec. All right then. Okay, can you hear me now? All right. 3, 2. Wait, hold up. Wait a second. All right, first of all, it helps the economy with increasing sales of products with help from these content creators by using sponsors such as G Fuel. Now, you might say that, what's so bad for, now you might say that, oh, this consumerism will make people just spend more money, especially in these trying times, will make people lose money in general, which is like, oh, this is bad. This is terrible. Well, here's the thing. What's so bad about a single person by spending a little more money on luxuries? And I guarantee you that people who don't have the money should probably have the free will and the mindset, to not buy it. Content creators aren't God. Whatever they say, they don't speak gospel. Whatever they say, like, oh, this is what it is. This is what it is, and not everyone else is gonna follow them. I'm pretty sure most people are going to have their own free will to not follow them and just do what they want. And if many people buy, it helps the economy of the nation and companies a huge shift by increasing consumption and by consumption, it creates a better economy and which makes a better for most people because it causes stability within the economy, which in turn also creates jobs, which create a much more stable economy. So now people can actually, with the jobs that are provided, can now actually get to what they desire, like these content creators. Basically, in a nutshell, the benefits outweigh the harms. Lastly, viewers can also create relationships and connections with other people who are within creators community. Now, within a creators community, these viewers can join up together as a group and forge bonds and relationship with each other and become friends. Which in these trying times, which is filled with dark, gloomy, depressing stuff, everyone, people can actually interact with each other and create much more, which can create friendship and bonds, which in turn can also help these viewers from feeling depressed and/or insecure or
it's very convenient for them to actually conclude our case and assume us for generalizing the rich people who make contents are inherently bad. We think that my first and second speaker and the motion have already said a lot, right? I have two clashes that I'm going to bring in my speech. Firstly, why is it unjustified? And secondly, why actually having this rich people portraying the harm is harmful in of itself. First, on my clash on why it's unjustified. Under this, we have told you that firstly, this would create like a sense of insecurity, right, towards the viewers. They would think that this kind of lifestyle is what is more preferred. We say that this is currently harmful because we don't want to glorify just one type of lifestyle where you can like make nasi goreng for 400 juta, right, or eat truffles and wagyu every day. Secondly, this type of insecurity is already inherently different than those of like body insecurity because we already have like a movement for that. There is already a cluster of women who glorifies beauty in every shape and form, whereas for wealthy lifestyle, it is still seen as something that's more favorable, that not all people are having the same vision of a lifestyle, but now they are forced to be molded by society views that is what an ideal life looks like. But then what do we get in response? They said that these people are just having like high production value and entertainment, and these money are then used for like helping people. Firstly, panels, we can see how helping people does not come exclusively from having to post their money in social media. If they wanted to help people, then they can just directly provide goods and services or donations directly when they're already rich without having to actually break their wealth on social media. Secondly, panels, we think that even if they use this to help like people, we think that this is inexclusive towards other content creators who are trying to also gain material benefit without portraying their wealth. Other content creators also have like this good purpose of making like a social media platform. But secondly, panels, they wanted to talk about that there are other rich people who don't show off their wealth, and then they generalize our case by saying that the three of us actually see that these rich people are inherently bad and play on social media. Firstly, panels, I think what all fail to realize is that we are specifically talking about rich people who portrays their wealth on social media. We never deny and generalize all rich people are portraying their wealth. Yes, we concede to the fact that there is a lot of rich people who actually use their capital to make creative content without having to brag and portray the price. We have no problem with this. This is something that OP really claims by themselves. But then they wanted to talk about the economic development. Panels, we don't think that the whole economy is carried by content creators who show their wealth. It's very absurd to say that these people are the ones who carry the country, for example, knowing that there are like other functional sectors who cover a lot more people working on different sectors, right? We think that this claim is just very absurd and too generic. But then they said that these type of content creators can actually create relationships with the community, right? That these content creators can actually join up together and make communities. Panels, content creators who portray wealth, making a community would actually just double the trouble. People would think that only the wealth and life will play with those of the same precious ones, right? But secondly, panels, this is very inexclusive. Every content creators can actually build relationships and community with the social media itself because there's a sense of accessibility to other people, right? We
Siapa? Halo, Prodigy SMANSA.